bodies are so beautiful. Today my friend was asking about fasting. Fasting is heavily related to our muscle mass on the body. Why? Because our muscle is a storage capacity of amino acids. It is an energy storage on the body. It is known as our largest endocrine organ, and it is our immune reserves. So think about this: as we age, we go through the process of aging, we lose muscle mass. It's one of the markers of the aging process, losing of the muscle mass. But we also, as we age, we lose our hormone function. We lose the regulation of our autonomic nervous system. We also become immunocompromised because muscle is an immune reserve for the body. So if you go through a period of illness, right, period of COVID, respiratory illness, people who had more muscle were more fit, were more likely to not go through a severe illness, and were able to recover faster. So this is what fasting is. The process of autophagy is the cleansing and the repair process of the body. So of course you don't need to be ripped to go through autophagy. It's just important to know how muscle correlates with fasting, how important it is to understand what our body is, what the fasting process is. And also, when you go through periods of not eating, it is so important to understand what you are eating when you're eating. So this is something I made up for myself years ago, 911 Nutrition. This was a way for me when I was eating to get as many of the essentials that we need in our diet. So we have what we call essential amino acids, and we have essential fatty acids. This is only the amino acids. But when we're eating our animal-based proteins, these are going to be the only profiles of amino acids that are the full profile of the essential. So like an egg, for instance, right? And I eat a lot of ground beef, so of course there's fat in that too, so I'm getting the essential fatty acids. But when you're eating an egg, you have the full profile of the essential amino acids, and then you also have the fats. So it's so important that when you're eating, especially if you're trying to pick up a fasting ritual, to make this autophagy process, this cleansing process, even more efficient and get back in balance. You know, this is what the cell is made of. These components create the cell. And to go through autophagy, you want to give your cells what they need. Otherwise, you're going to be putting yourself in a very, very stressed out state. We don't want to do too much, right? Like, we could do exercise. Exercise is considered good, but if you do too much of it, you're still going to put yourself in a bad place, in an immunocompromised state. You want to make sure that you're feeding with the essentials. So when you're eating the animal protein, you're also going to get non-essential and conditional. These are actually amino acids that we can synthesize in the body on our own. Pretty cool that you are an energy synthesizer. Pretty cool. But that's what our amino acids, like our muscle is amino acids. So the more you have of storage on your body, the more efficient your fasting process is. Does this make sense? Right? The more non-essential and conditional amino acids I can make in my central metabolism, right? I'm strong within my spirit, my central metabolism. And this process is cellular respiration. What we go through is cellular respiration. So this is our spirit. This is when you're fast, you're connecting with your spirit, your central metabolism. And every single morning, we wake up, and we wake up with versions of ourselves, right? There's a highest version of yourself, right, that wakes up and gives your body everything you need. It nourishes you. It sits still, right? And then there's the version of you that likes to escape and not do your laundry and not do the things that you know you need to do, right? But when you can put muscle on, you are connecting with your spirit, because you're connecting with your autonomic nervous system. Our autonomic nervous system, all these processes that are happening beyond our awareness, right? When you put on muscle too, you're putting on posture muscles. You're literally regulating your hormones, because we know when you sit back in a posture with your shoulders back and your chest up and forward, your body's gonna secrete testosterone, more testosterone. This is important even for women too, because testosterone and cortisol have a yin-yang communication system. So if you are hunched forward like this, or if you're in a stressed out place where you're a little bit off balance, your body's secreting a lot of cortisol, right? You're in that stressed out state. then your testosterone is going to be lower. So one of the best ways to just outsmart all of this, right? I talk about getting in the sunlight and then exercise, strength training to produce testosterone, right? I've struggled with depression most of my life, like since I was in high school. And a lot of that was due to food, but a lot of that was just pushing me to learn this information so that I could be here to share it with you. But I've done this my whole life, is how can I outrun, or how can I boost my immune function? How can I get my cortisol back in balance? How can I get my nervous system back in balance? How can I get my body in rhythm, in my circadian rhythm, in my flow? Fasting is one of the best ways to do that, but it is so important to eat your nutrients. Gluties. Nudies build booties. They will build your glutes. But yes, that was what I was thinking about today. I love fasting, and one last tip that I will give, because a lot of people who are stuck in the stress response, also when we're in that high stress response, our stomach acid is really, really low. Now this gives us a lot of problems, right? Because our stomach acid is designed to sterilize our food and also break down anything that we eat. So a lot of people have low stomach acid because we're stuck in the stress response, right? So apple cider vinegar in the morning while I'm in my fasted state, that's been a habit that I've, put down habits, pick them back up. That's been one that I've picked up lately because I've been going through things. And so I've been doing that in the morning, and it's great. Apple cider vinegar, you're literally you're helping your body, you're helping build up your acid in your stomach, especially if before you eat, it's shown to help break down the food. So that's one of the little tips, one of the little habits that if you are trying to get into a fasting routine, you can try that out. But I do encourage you to try and get moving, try to exercise. Exercise is the number one way to go through the process of autophagy. And yeah, I mean, there's so much to say about muscular contractions. We are all biochemists. We're the most powerful pharmacists in the entire world. So even just a walk before or after your meal can help your digestion. Our movement is our digestion. At the end of life, we lose that muscle mass, we lose all that functioning, we lose the capacity to digest and sleep. But if you can stay moving, you can work with this process. You become a body mechanic. You realize that you are in charge of your digestion, right? You keep on moving. You interact with your food. You interact with the sun. You interact with your environment, because you're the nucleus. And every single habit that you have is an additional mitochondria. We can build as many mitochondria as we want to. And the brain has 20 to 30% of the energy it's going to take from the body. That's why it's so important to have muscle. But also, it's so important to focus on how can I influence my nuclear DNA, because our mitochondria have their own DNA. So we always want to be best friends with our mitochondria. If we're not best friends, we're enemies. So talk to your cells, talk to them nicely, listen to your body. Your body's always speaking to you. It's always saying, hello, please help me. If you have dry skin, you have pain, your body is talking to you. So speak to your mitochondria. If you know anybody struggling, I do have this video is very helpful for you. If you're starting a fasting routine, good luck. Send it to people who may be struggling or going through a time in their life where they may need some light. Remember that our light production comes from our mitochondria. It can radiate as bright as the sun. We all go through it at times. So like, share, subscribe if you like this video, and as always, good luck.